Brenda, did you don't turn that mic down? You know better.
Oh, what?
You know better.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Dr. Milele, I'm being nice because you on here, because you so sweet.
Oh, so we acting up today, huh? I'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Talk with your hosts, the 3-year running podcast, Real Talk. And I've added my faithful sidekick, who gets on my nerves sometimes. And
Why you gotta be rubbing your head like that? What's going on?
Oh, that I get on her nerves.
Exactly.
The feelings are mutual. I ain't gonna make it in the singular form. So we glad to have it. Today is July 8th, Saturday, July 8th.
Oh, Marty.
And we are here tonight. Listen, y'all got to know what's going on in your city. And that's what I try to do. I try to make sure we bring you real life stuff that's going on in real Oakland, California. Brenda, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Good to have you this week again.
Last week we had who she rocked last week. She rocked last night, and I hope she's watching tonight. And that is none other than the Honorable Judge Brenda Harbin Forte. She rocked last night. I mean, last Saturday, and she made sure that our guest, what we talked about last Saturday. Listen, just go back and watch last Saturday and put a comma right there, because this is picking back up where we left off last Saturday. My host is the chair of the police commission for Oakland, California, and that is none other than the beautiful, sweet, educated, and smart Dr. Milele. Come on, Dr. Milele, say hello to our Real Talk audience.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today.
You're welcome.
You're more than welcome, and I hope this does not be your last time on Real Talk, because what we do, Brenda, we keep it real on Real Talk. This is not fake talk, Dr. Milele. This is a real talk, and we keep it real. Y'all, she is a native of Los Angeles, California, living in Oakland, California now. Went to college and is highly educated at Cal Berkeley. Went to school in Ohio for her undergrad, and her grad work she received at University of California at Berkeley. The Berkeley Cal Bears. So did my homie, my friend, my sister, Your Honor, Dr. Judge Jennifer Matten, also went to Cal Berkeley. She's a bear too. All right, Dr. Milele, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Doing good. Get you a sip of water, because we about to dive all into it. Don't drink it all. We about to dive. Brenda, come on, let's drink. Let's drink water.
I got none.
Come on, man.
Go next door. I'll be fine.
Listen, there y'all go. Y'all come. Listen, y'all, please like and share. Just go to your page real quick, like and share. We got to let y'all know what's going on downtown. We got to let y'all know we keep it real on Saturdays from 6 to about 7:15.
8:30,
7:45. Dr. Brenda, Judge Brenda Harbin Forte said she was a talker, and she proved to us that she was last week. But she talks a good talk. And guess what? Dr. Milele gonna talk some good talk tonight. So, Dr. Milele, where do you want to start? You're our guest, but where do you want to start? Or do you want me and Brenda to just dive into it? You tell me.
I'll let y'all dive into it and ask me anything you like.
Brenda, I'm putting you in on the hot seat. Go ahead and start it off, sis.
Well, first of all, we want to, highlight the controversy that has been going on with the police commission. The media is doing what they always do. They don't portray both sides of the story. Seeing as I personally have been in chambers and I've been online for the last couple of years, and I recently was in chambers, what's going on in the media is not what's going on in the actual chambers, in the actual meetings. And so they're only playing one side of the story, and we want you guys to hear exactly what the police commission is about, what they do, what they're trying to do, and what's actually going on behind the scenes. So let us know. So explain to them in your words what the police commission's job is.
So the purpose of our Oakland Police Commission is to oversee the Oakland Police Department to ensure its policies, practices, and customs conform to national standards of constitutional policing. We also oversee the Office of the Inspector General, led by the Civilian Office of Inspector General for the department, as well as the Community Police Review Agency, CPRA. And that's led by the executive director of the agency, and they investigate misconduct and recommend discipline. So the police department has its own department, internal affairs, that investigates, and the Community Police Review Agency investigates in parallel with them. And if they don't agree on discipline, the the commission will step in to do a discipline committee and decide the discipline in those cases.
So where does CPA come in under that? They just over here in the corner.
CPA is the Coalition for Police Accountability, and they are an organization that was part of the activists and organizers who helped create the commission. It was also an effort of council members and many people across the city, but they're one of the organizations that helped get the commission off the ground and through a measure in 2016, Measure LL.
Okay.
And they have been extremely active in commission business. And once I became chair of the commission, they apparently lost a bit of their stronghold on the commission because I swore to, for this particular position, I swore to answer to the entire city of Oakland, not just one group.
Right.
And that seems to be part of what has fueled this conflict.
Okay. So kind of explain to us what exactly is the conflict.
I mean, it kind of hit me by storm. I got a text message from one of the commissioners on May 24th saying, hey, there's a rumbling in the community that you went to a retreat and didn't report out, and they want you to resign, and you do it by noon today, or we're going to the press. And I wrote back saying, the OPD retreat, I went to the same retreat as the previous chair, and she also didn't report out. What's the issue? And she said, all I know is if you don't resign by noon today, there's going to be, press and all of these things calling for your resignation. And I get a letter that I've shared with you on June 1st with a bunch of allegations. And they submitted it to everyone, the press, the city council, the mayor, the selection panel for the police commission as well, which is a separate body that selects 5 out of the 9 total commissioners. The other 4 are selected by the mayor. So they sent it to everyone. And it's just been a blitz after that of, other media replaying it. And I have sent in statements to let people know the allegations were false, misleading, or both. But that side isn't really making it out. I gave a speech at the commission meeting recently trying to say, hey, I understand there's some pain behind some of these actions, but that I'm not the source of that pain, and that we need to move on and lower our weapons and turn the temperature down and let's move forward. But unfortunately, that wasn't reported on either.
Dr. Milele, can I interject here, please?
Yes.
And I'm asking, can I interject on my show? But I'm being respectful. I have a problem, though, because they mad. From what I read, they're mad. And I'm going to just say there because I don't want to call anybody out. But they names, Young Gone, is public domain. You can find out who the commissioners are and the alternate ones, too. But I'm a little ticked off because the previous chair went to the retreat, and they said after she spoke, she left. You spoke and you stayed. Damn, what difference does it make if you stayed a day later, 2 days later? What does that mean? You become corrupt? Does that mean your job is in jeopardy because you decided to stay for the whole retreat? To me, that's like going to church and leaving before the benediction. I mean, that's a crazy, that's a crazy comparison. But
the retreat ended at 2 p.m. and it started at 8, and I got there at 9:30. So it wasn't like it was multiple days.
A couple of days, okay.
It was a few hours, and I actually didn't speak. I just said, hi, I'm here from the commission. I didn't have a presentation. I just watched the watch the presentation from their facilitator.
Because I thought that was very petty from some educated adults.
But isn't that what you guys are supposed to be doing? Kind of like seeing what the police department is doing. How can you do your job if you don't kind of interact with them in certain instances? So a retreat would be good because the retreat is giving updates on, what's going on. So you need to be there. Why would that be a problem?
Well, all the chairs of the commission were at the same retreat. Mm-hmm. I found out afterward that the first chair, before I was following the commission, did report out to the commission. But the second chair was chair for 3 years. And so I never saw that report out. And when I was invited, I went and then didn't know I was supposed to or expected to report out. And of course I would if I had seen that modeled
before.
And, it wasn't a lot happening. It was more just talking about their future and, the priorities of the chief. He laid out his priorities. It wasn't that much going on. And like I said, it ended at 2:00. So it doesn't seem like it merits that I should resign. And so what you've seen is just a barrage, right? A list of more and more things that they can try to come up with. Mm-hmm. And what I provided you with is everything that they came up with. There's either it's not factual, it's a falsehood, or it's misleading, or it's been interpreted in the most nefarious way possible. Mm-hmm. And so I put together a document to just address every single allegation that I could, to show that there is a issue with the facts here, because so much of it was actually demonstrably false. Mm-hmm. And I have the evidence to prove that. So unfortunately, I just didn't have I don't have an audience until today. So thank you to actually say this is what
Dr. Milele, we on your side. Why you think you're on our side over here? I'm not trying to
real talk on your side.
We on your side. Is that Wayne trying to come in down there?
Tell him don't do it. So before we go into the document, I have a question. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I've been on sat on meetings for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And I keep hearing what you just said. The community, there's a rumble in the community. Did they ever tell you who the community was? Because I'll be on there. They were talking about the community wants A, B, and C, and we're reaching out to the community to do A, B, and C. But what community are they reaching out to?
I think they're talking about some members of the CPA. Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's not all of the members of the CPA either. Mm-hmm. It's a group. I don't have an exact number, but if the rally is to reflect the exact number, it's 8 people plus 2 commissioners.
Well, that's not the community. That's some people. So they need to phrase that right, because that ain't the community. Yeah. So, where you want to jump into this letter right here? Because
if you scroll down, we can just start with number 1.
The highlighted stuff.
Yeah, I highlighted in here. So yeah,
that's number 1 right there. Let's deal with this garbage.
Yeah. So there, one of the accusations is the lack of transparency, that I submitted a budget unilaterally to the mayor's office. We have a budget ad hoc committee. The budget ad hoc committee met, and we had a preliminary budget, and the mayor had deadlines for when department heads submit their budget. The Oakland Police Commission doesn't have a department head that works in the city of Oakland. The Oakland Police Commission has me. So as a volunteer, I am the de facto executive director for the police commission. So I have to submit things and get contracts, signed things as though I was a worker. And there are deadlines. So we submitted the budget ad hoc committee was able to put together a preliminary budget, submit that. But as you'll see in my document, it says this is subject to full commission approval. Like, this is not an official document. This is just a preliminary budget. We subsequently passed the budget as written. So 5 commissioners had no problem with the budget that was submitted, had no problem with the way it was submitted, and subsequently passed the whole thing. So the idea that there was a lack of transparency is false there. I'm going to look a little closer here. So the second one, oh boy, that second one is me directing the city attorney to not talk to any commissioner but myself. Total falsehood. In fact, what happened is I was telling the commissioners and the city attorney that according to the ordinance of Oakland, we don't have the right to direct the city attorney. And in my document, I don't know if you're able to toggle between the two.
Well, we were doing
one at a time.
We don't have a split string. We were doing one at a time. We were dealing with their nonsense and then your stuff.
Okay, so I'll just lay out the allegations and then go to my document.
Okay.
So the second one is that I told the city attorney not to talk to anybody but me. Total false. So we can scroll down to the next one. The other one is that, they allege that the federal court monitor's report was discussed at the Oakland Police Department's retreat. I'll be able to disprove that.
That would have took all day.
Yeah.
So I could have done that in less than 8 hours, and you got there at 9:30, and it was over at what time?
2 o'clock.
5 hours, 4.5 hours. Okay.
Yeah. So that no such thing was discussed at the retreat. They've submitted evidence suggesting that it was, but I have that evidence that they submitted, and I can show you what it actually was. Okay. We convened a discipline committee regarding Chief Armstrong's discipline. That is true, and it was well within our rights. The third one is that, let's see.
All right.
About having
Michelle Phillips.
Yes. So the commission, we put a agenda item to evaluate the inspector general. It was coming on a year into her tenure, and that is our job. We're supposed to evaluate her. We oversee her. We evaluate that office. We also evaluate the chief. We also evaluate the super director. We were coming up on that, and we put it on the agenda to evaluate the IG, and subsequently received a complaint. And that complaint, and I'll show you in my document, was against the whole commission.
Okay.
That it is alleged that we didn't try to evaluate her in a lawful way. That complaint came in January. It has gone nowhere. No violations have occurred in that. So then 3B there, you can see it says that I directed the IG to attend specific meetings. What they're not telling you is that, and I'll show you in my document, in the charter, it says that the inspector general is a non-voting member of the board for an executive force review board. And that is when a level 1, like a high level use of force. And specifically in this case, an AR-15 was discharged toward a citizen. And they have a 3 to 5 day board to discuss whether or not that was lawful. And I just said, could someone from your office please be represented at these meetings to make sure that everything is on the up and up at these meetings. I was there, but I'm a volunteer. So 3 to 5 full days is a lot to ask a volunteer commissioner. And so the office should be able to have one representative be at these meetings to make sure that AR-15 was used lawfully. And it is in the charter that the chair can direct the work of the people that we oversee in between meetings, and that the OIG is a non-voting member of the Executive Force Review Board.
So can I ask a question right quick? So is the city charter a public document?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that people go and look at the city charter, because it's brought up quite a lot, about things that are in the charter and what they're doing that's not in the charter. So people need to really educate themselves and look up the city charter. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you.
Yeah, and so and like I already mentioned. Oh yeah, I see this next one. It says that I refuse to mediate with the inspector general. You'll see in my letter, I can prove that I confirmed that I was willing to participate in mediation. The next one was just about the ethics complaint. Like I said, it was because we tried to begin the process of evaluating the inspector general. The next accusation was suggesting that I was misusing the law firm because the CPA didn't like a presentation that they did. It'll be better explained with my document, so I won't go into the response.
Okay.
The next one is seeking to hire another department head. I am fully aware of the charter and know that a ballot measure would be required for the police commission to have a executive director. And what I was saying is that they may be something we should consider advocating for, because we have volunteers doing a lot of work that's administrative, especially as a volunteer board. It's a lot of, like I said, documents and contracts and signing this and, showing up to budget meetings in the middle of the day at the city. And it's not very accessible for working volunteers. And so then the next one was I just thought it was very interesting, this quote from them that I'm saying, this is what exactly I've been trying to say. And they said that the public voted by 83.11% to empower police commissioners to do this work themselves and not delegate its responsibilities to a body not contemplated in the charter. And my point is that includes the CPA. They are not contemplated in the charter, and we don't necessarily have to do what they advise us to do. We take it into consideration, but we're there for our own, strengths, our own minds, and our own hearts. That's what we're there for as well. And we're accountable to all, not just one group. Yeah. The next one is, they disagree whether or not we legally could convene a discipline committee. The issue here is very frustrating for me, because we have attorneys, and our attorneys advised us to convene a discipline committee, and we voted unanimously to do so. So I don't understand how I'm under fire along with 7 other commissioners, accepting counsel to convene a discipline committee. And why would we take legal advice from the CPA over our own attorneys?
Right.
And this idea that I failed to recuse myself, the suggestion that I had any need to recuse myself, is false. And like I said, I'll show you that in my document. I can prove to you.
We getting there.
Yeah.
We getting there.
They also say I failed to subpoena records. Once again, they had a legal opinion about whether or not the commission should subpoena records. Our attorneys advised us that on a different path to getting those records. And I can say more, like I said, with my document. Okay. At the time of the suggestion of that subpoena, the documents in question didn't actually exist. So when they were talking about October, the documents that they were talking about subpoenaing didn't come available until January. So this idea that there was some failure in October is false.
Dr. Milele, there's an attack. There's an agenda against you.
Yeah.
This is BS right here, and anybody can see it. Anybody can see it, and that's what people are saying in the comments. They got issues with you.
Yeah.
because you're being successful and you're doing the work and you're being responsible and accountable, and people have a problem with that. That's why our city is so messed up right now. You got a screwed up mayor in office and a screwed up public defender in office.
So, yeah, I mean, I have to agree. You know, I knew we were doing great work. You know, the commission had passed 10 policies in the 5 years before I became chair. Yeah. And in my first year and a half, we rolled up our sleeves and passed 22.
Okay.
5 in 2 years, and 1 year 22. No wonder they want you to leave office. Because you make them look bad who was in office before you became commissioner. I clearly see it now.
It wasn't even me. It was these commissioners. I mean, they rolled up their sleeves and got to work. They just pounded the pavement.
Thank you, new administration.
But so how were they now? I was in chambers. Now you said they worked together, got all this done. But what I saw, how did you get it done? You got it done with those same people, right?
I got it done with the 5 commissioners who supported the leadership and supported the vision.
Now
you only needed the 5 votes in order to pass what you needed to.
Now, Judge Forte did say that last week. There's 5 people that support you. And she fluently last week named the people who don't support you publicly. To the fact, listen, Dr. Milele, listen, and I ain't bragging, I ain't even told you this. John Burris was watching Real Talk. Attorney John Burris was watching Real Talk last week, and he hit the like button. He liked our show. Let me say it one more time. Let me brag for a few minutes. Attorney John Burris was watching Real Talk last week, and he liked the show. And I hope he's watching again tonight, because we keep it real on there. I just can't see him watching a show that was fake when he's been the real one that had LaRon Armstrong back. When he's been in a confidential report saying that LaRon was doing everything right in office. But that's how it is. You're doing this, and they want you to go, just like LaRon was doing the work, and they want him to go. Ain't nobody no damn fools around here. This is ridiculous, Oakland. This is ridiculous, commissioners. This is ridiculous, Dr. Milele haters. But she got some support. And after tonight, when this show rerun again, she going to have even more support. That's why she's on there tonight. In 2 years, they only passed 5 things. And in 1 year, she's been able, with the 5 people that support her, been able to pass 22 things. That ought to tell you why they can't stand her. Ain't nobody dumb. I'm educated. Ain't nobody stupid. We're smart.
So, I definitely earned my haters.
Yeah, you did. So I have another question. So I got the vacancy rate for the city of Oakland, and the police commission is second next to the Department of Violence Prevention. So it says that you guys have authorized positions of 26. But you have 15 vacant positions. What would that do with the numbers? What would that do with the numbers if you had all of those positions filled?
So just to be clear, there's the commission, and that it oversees multiple departments.
Right. Okay.
So it has the Office of the Inspector General has a whole team. The CPRA has a whole team. Those vacancies are likely in CPRA.
Okay.
Because they are growing to hire more investigators, because there's a plan to take over internal affairs from OPD.
Right.
So that instead of having parallel, most investigations would take place with CPRA.
Okay. So that includes the people that are under you guys and work in partnership with you. So It's not just general. Okay.
Yeah. It's not positions in the commission. The commission has 2 positions. A chief of staff and an admin analyst.
Okay.
But they technically report to the Tyfahra director because the commission doesn't have an executive director, like I was telling you. It's a little complicated, but we make it work. But it's definitely tough because the volunteers put in a lot of, like I said, you know.
And see, that kind of stuff is misleading as well. So if you was to look at it, the two organizations that are, you know, mainly in charge of violence prevention or police accountability, it says that you guys are the top two that have, you know, the most vacancies. And so people are thinking just like I did. So that's why I have to ask, you know, what does that mean?
That's because the mayor added 16 positions to Tyfahra in anticipation of taking on IAD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Dr. Milele, can we go to number 7, but can me and Brenda read this one?
Yes.
Okay. The number 7, A, the chair has failed to conduct the police commission meeting. Brenda, help me. The police commission meetings in a fair and respectful manner, and has allowed a commissioner to verbally attack other commissioners, which violates their own written code of conduct. Hold on, Brenda. You was at a meeting when they was all disrespecting her, and they have mitigated gall and the audacity to bring this BS up. Man, y'all too old for that, people on the commission. Y'all too old for that. No wonder the streets of Oakland is so messed up and corrupt. Y'all too old for that. Don't make no sense. Y'all ain't got nothing else to do. Brenda, would you please chime in? We're gonna let Dr.
I've never seen anything like that. And I've been in city council meetings, I've been in violence prevention meetings, you know, FSA meetings and things of that nature, but I've never saw the level of disrespect that went on in that meeting towards the chair.
LeJohn said he was there too. He's over here commenting. He was in there. He saw the disrespect that they had for Dr. Milele.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I tell you, it threw me so far that what I was gonna say, I was not able to say. I had to say what I need to say because there was too many adults in there, you know, being verbally attacking one person. So how can you say that she allowed someone to disrespect somebody else when
verbally.
It's like 5 or 6 people
Brenda, is verbally attack a commissioner.
They were verbally attacking.
Right, her.
But this not talking about her. This talking about somebody else. Because I remember this right here. But it's still the fact that
they made Brenda so mad. She was getting in her car. I still heard her bell going bing, 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 bing. She hadn't even closed her door yet. She's on the phone. Like, bro, they are so disrespectful. It don't make no sense in there. They totally disrespect each other. They taking deep breaths. They rolling their eyes up in the air. This is going on in the police commission meeting. And she wasn't the only one that said that. There's other people that was there that told me the same exact thing too.
Yeah, you know, she held herself together good because like I said to you, if it would have been me, I would have been kicked off the commission that day.
Yeah.
They would have said, you got to go, Brenda.
Yeah, because you're not good at people disrespecting you, Brenda. You can't do that.
She was calm, cool, collect. She, you know, you're out of order, and they just kept talking, and she continued to do what she was supposed to do. You know, do her welcome and move on and try to get things done. Okay, let's do number 8.
Hold on. We got a comment over here.
Okay.
So Antoine Towers says, so what's the solution to get past the personal stuff and actually get things done? We just told you before she took office, only 5 things have passed. Since she's been in office, 22 things have passed. She's getting the work done.
We're making progress. And what, you know, I didn't go around touting this to anybody, but under our, you know, I don't want to say mine because it's really been a group effort, you know, as I'm not the one who went through line by line all of those policies. But while we were doing that, OPD reached the sustainability period. That means like a probation period for the NSA, which is our consent decree, for the first time in 20 years. They got closer than they have ever been to ending federal oversight. They had a 1-year period of probation that if they were to clear that period, it would have been over. And as you know, what happened in February to sort of knock that off of its trajectory.
Correct.
So that's the misconception right there, that you guys are not getting anything done. That's the misconception that is in the public. And that's very unfair, because you don't need all of them to get nothing done. You just need the consensus to pass what you need to pass to get what we need done. And it is getting done. But the people that are running their mouths are not making that known. They just making it seem like y'all just dysfunctional. Y'all can't do nothing. This, that, third. Y'all ain't trying to find a new police chief. Y'all sleeping on the job. And, it's a process. You have to find somebody.
We just hired a brand new CPRA director. We had an excellent forum on that. He started about a week ago. Mm-hmm. The committee to hire the chief met yet again. We're meeting again this Thursday. We're on it. We are rolling. We have weekly meetings on that, on the chief hiring. So the idea that we're not working is just false.
So when I was at the meeting, you guys were presenting that you guys, we're going to interview a firm to do the search, which in the public, y'all not even doing that. Y'all haven't even agreed on anything like that, that
was a falsehood.
Yeah.
We were presented 5 pre-approved vendors from the city. We narrowed it down to 2, based on their priorities stated on their website, and then asked both for a proposal and only got one. We ended up with the one that gave us the proposal, who was excellent firm with a lot of experience. And we signed with them and voted that in on June 22nd. Mm-hmm. So, and we've already met with them once. And like I said, we're meeting with them this Thursday again.
So the ball is rolling.
The ball has been rolling, and it continues.
Okay.
I can move on to number 8.
Go ahead.
7 and 8 are really similar responses. They're saying that, you notice that they don't have a quote, right? They don't have a quote of a verbal attack. They don't have a quote of any sort of abuse or toxicity on my part, because it just doesn't exist. And this suggestion that I made public statements of fact, there's no reference to a public statement of fact, because this is not factual that it happened. So I like I said, my document will discuss that. And then the number 9 is just removing commissioners from participating in this ad hoc committee for the evaluation. As I let you know, we received a complaint for trying to evaluate. And so I actually removed every commissioner from that ad hoc, including myself, so that nobody could accuse us of bias. I said, let's do a completely different committee. I'm off, you're off, you're off. These 3 people will take it over from here. So we set up an entirely new committee with none of the people that were on the one before. So this suggestion that it was arbitrary, it was in response to the ethics complaint, to be above board, to say, okay, well, if you think that we shouldn't be evaluating her, let's let these other 3. There's only 7.
And that's the inspector general, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I put another 3, a group of entirely separate people on a new committee.
Okay.
And this does not violate the code of conduct. I'll show you in my document exactly what the code of conduct says.
Make it fair.
And then number 10 was, public statements that support the segment of the population that oppose the removal of LaRon Armstrong. The state public, and I'll say in my document, the public statements I made were actually voted on by the commission on purpose to make sure that we were united in what we were saying to the public. And it was a unanimous vote to say what we were going to say. So this suggestion that there was something wrong with what I said, given that all 7 commissioners voted to say that, is false. And then the same thing with 10B, that I, said things about the federal monitor. I'll be able to demonstrate exactly who they're talking about. It was not me. And then this one here, to me, is especially misleading. They're saying they're not asking me to be removed as a commissioner, only that I resigned. Then why are they at every selection panel meeting trying to convince the selection panel not to reappoint me?
Right. I was at the selection panel too, y'all. I was there. I spoke. Thank you.
So it's like, if there's no problem with me being a commissioner, why are you trying to remove me as a commissioner? That's the part that I don't get. And then the last thing is one of the most frivolous of the accusations is that I sent an email to the OPD Senior Staff Command Retreat, and I'll show you that email. It's kind of, I mean, it speaks for itself. But the allegation is that I was speaking on behalf of LaRon Armstrong to OPD. But when we look at my document, you'll see what it was.
Okay, well, let's get to yours.
Okay.
So, can you ask Antoine, did she answer his question? The one that he asked?
He hear you.
Oh. Because I can't see his comment. I don't know what page is on.
So why is there any disliking amongst peers to have childish if anyone is getting what they're looking for? It's on Real Talk page.
Oh, okay. But I'm talking about the one before that. The first question that he asked, was that answered for him?
It should be.
Okay.
Well, the solution question, I mean, I tried. I mean, I asked people to lower the weapon.
Yes. He said yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I have definitely asked people, let's just move on and keep getting the work done. I have no intention of resigning for frivolous accusations and false, allegations.
Well, apparently on all of our pages, our numbers are consistent and they are staying. So people are listening to what you're saying. And we're so happy, Dr. Milele, that you are on Real Talk tonight. Here we are. We've looked at what they have, the accusations and what they've said about her. This is how she has answered all of the 10 things that were said about her. Here we go.
This is what you don't hear in the news. Okay.
Yeah. You just hear one side.
So about the budget, you probably can't see, but you'll see, but it highlights that this preliminary budget proposal is subject to final approval from the full commission. I never intended to send anything that would be final with, unilateral. And it came from me and the vice chair as the budget ad hoc committee. And we subsequently passed that, passed the budget. So we can go to the next one.
Can you tell them what an ad hoc committee is?
Yeah, so the full commission is 7 people, but we can't, because we're a city board, we can't just all talk to each other all the time. We have to notice meetings, and there is something called the Brown Act and Sunshine Ordinance, where we have to be really careful about how and when we talk to one another. But 3 people can talk to each other about a particular topic without needing any sort of noticing or it being a sort of public meeting.
So you can call an ad hoc meeting at any time.
So we have ad hoc committees to get a lot of the work done, because imagine if we were all 7 of us trying to do everything at all times. And I served on the rent board for 4 years for the city of Oakland as well. So I have actually a lot of board experience and had no issues over there. So the suggestion that I told the city attorney not to talk to anyone, I let them know that only the chair is entitled to speak on behalf of the commission, and no commissioner, including the chair, is entitled to give direction to the city attorney's office, that we have our own counsel. It's not subject, then they are not subject to direction from us. However, and this was in response to repeated requests that I had to one of the commissioners mentioned before, who does have an issue with me, who is continuing to direct the OCA. And I have an email here showing that she did direct them. She asked them to do things. She's constantly asking for information. And you can see by the arrows that the date is October 10th, 2022. I became chair February 10th, 2022. And she's still directing staff as though she's the chair. And then I had to ask many, many times for her to change her email signature, because people were confused because they thought they were talking to the chair. And this is 8 months into my tenure.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
8 months in. And so that I was trying to put a stop to this. is what I was doing. I did not say you can't talk to any other commissioner. I said, we don't actually have the right to direct you. We have our own counsel, and I'm trying to get this behavior to stop. Okay. So we can move on to the next one. So here they're saying that I discussed the NSA at the OPD retreat. What I can show you here is that we discussed it at the Oakland Police Commission retreat. So they went and did a public records request on my emails, found this email and said, here, that proves that she was talking at the retreat about the NSA, and she should recuse herself. But in fact, this was at our retreat. You can see the date here. Our retreat is November 5th. This happened a couple weeks after, November 16th. And if you scroll down, Mr. Satterwhite facilitated our retreat, and you can keep going. Our police commission retreat facilitated by Satterwhite. So this was our agenda, our retreat that we discussed the NSA, not the OPD. So that was a lie, a bait and switch. I don't know what, but the suggestion that that's what was discussed at the OPD retreat was just an outright falsehood.
Absolutely.
All right, we can keep going. And there's an allegation that, and I already mentioned the thing about the evaluation. I've belabored that. The next one is this suggestion that I wouldn't meet with I refused mediation with the Inspector General. You can see here from an email from LaTonda Simmons, who's Assistant City Administrator. She said, I've been able to confirm that both parties are willing to participate in mediation. This is in February. I've been absolutely more than willing to do that. So the idea that I've refused is outright lie. And you can see here, she said Mr. Riskin requested her support because he was leaving. So once again, something that I could have said to them, actually, no, that's false. I can prove it to you that I have not refused mediation.
Okay, so do they just not know that there are emails out there while they're making these allegations?
Well, does it matter if the media is willing to just print whatever you say, whether it's true or not? I mean, it might not matter if it's provably false if you get your one narrative to be proliferated ad nauseum.
Right.
So now, I mean, I suppose they'll be knowing soon that these emails exist to suggest that these allegations are lies.
Yeah. We got to get a balance, and if we're not going to get a balance if they don't hear both sides of the story.
Right.
So,
yeah. And I cite the charter exactly what authority under which I did all of my duties. And at all times, it didn't just start in May that I was facing opposition from those commissioners. It started a while back. And so because of that, I have been extremely careful not to make any moves without our attorney's counsel.
Absolutely.
And so everything I've done has been under their advisement.
That's because you're smart, Dr. Milele. You're very careful. So check this out. This is our other. He's camping with his grandkids, but this is what Pastor Wayne Jackson. He's on show with us too, Dr. Milele. He said, "There's no misconceptions. There's an agenda to flip the script. This is the Truth and Facts show. The new administration isn't concerned with truth and facts. Line by line receipts. Love it. I bet her lying accusers won't come on our show to give an account of their falsehoods." Brenda, Wayne is listening.
As he should be.
And
so he's educated as well.
And he's responding too.
Oh my goodness. I mean, once people's eyes are open, they're like, well, what's going on? Because if she's getting the work done with the people that support her, the little minions over there are just gonna have to be over there. Because what's supposed to get done is gonna get done, whether they fussing, pushing their chairs and standing up against the wall with their arms crossed like 2-year-olds.
And this is gonna get done. So own eyes. You've seen this with your own eyes.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because we've seen it on TV. It was on KMEL. That's when I really got pissed off, when I heard them talking on KMEL about the dysfunctionality of the police commission. How you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was on KMEL. It sure was. I was just, floored at, people are going to this links, and then you have a press conference with 7 people. What that's doing? What that doing? That's letting you know how many people don't really know what's going on. So how can you make a stance when you don't have people behind you? Because nobody knows what's really going on, because the one side is being told.
Yeah.
So, okay, we can go on.
Tonight we're getting the real side.
Yeah, we can keep scrolling if you want. Yeah, and I already said this. That complaint was against the whole commission. The suggestion that I misused the law firm is total mischaracterization. And let's see. I also mentioned that I didn't try to hire an ED. I know that it's a ballot measure that, the voters will have to approve having the commission get a department head that can execute on its contracts and things like that. I already mentioned 4C. We can keep going. The discipline committee piece, they're just wrong in the law. And, I won't belabor what was mentioned before, but we have good reason to not want to take legal advice from the CPA.
You shouldn't.
We shouldn't. And we have our own counsel for a reason. That was Measure S1 that got us that, so that we would be independent from the city. And on its face, the charter says that we can convene.
Yeah, so we all need to read the city charter.
Yeah.
We all need to read it so that everybody know what's going on.
Real Talk gonna have to make that available for the people that want the truth.
So one part that's pretty important is this suggestion that, I've seen some people say some wild things, somehow blaming me.
Where are you at? What number are you at?
Number 6.
Okay.
Blaming me for the Jim Channon especially has said that it is my failure that caused the mayor to have to fire Chief Armstrong. Wrong on so many accounts. But in October 11th, I did send a letter asking for documents about this case that was brought up. And like I said, I'm not going to talk about particular cases.
Right.
And I did not receive a response. And that is because the investigation was taken out of the hands of OPD.
Interesting.
And nobody told anyone on the commission that the chief was the subject of an investigation. We found out on the news. No communication with the commission whatsoever. The city attorney, Jim Channon, federal monitor, the mayor, nobody. We found out through the press.
Like everybody else.
When everybody else,
and
Oakland,
probably the chief too.
Oakland side let us know that there was an investigation into the chief. And then from that was in January. So the suggestion that we knew any of those things and failed to act is just completely false. There was absolutely no knowledge that the chief was involved in anything until it became public knowledge.
Yeah, because they was blaming y'all for it, and y'all wasn't having his back and all that kind of stuff. So y'all was under the seat.
But Dr. Milele, that can't possibly be true that you had something to do with that. When simply Chantal even said she was coerced and forced by Warshaw to fire Laurent. That came out. So how they gonna? You can't fire him. How they gonna take that away from you? How they gonna pin that on you when she publicly admitted that she was pressured by Warshaw?
The fact that he was advocating for himself. Don't forget that part.
Right. Self-defense apparently is what he was guilty of.
Yeah. Well, how many people ain't gonna fight for their job? But see, that wasn't the truth either. It was a community that was fighting for his job most of the time.
We still fight for his job right now, and he's quiet. I talk about it all the time. We talk about it probably at least 3 times a month, if not every show, Dr. Milele. So they crazy for that. Listen, this is my show. We talk about whatever we want to talk about on there, but you just not gonna outright do Laurent dirty like that. That is my friend. That is Brenda's friend. He is a Christian. He did grow up in Oakland. Of course, we gonna have his back.
And he's the community advocate, and we don't have one right now.
This city ain't been right since he's been fired since February. It's gotten worse.
So yeah, and then the suggestion that I was making statements, like I said, you can look at any commission meeting. All of them are recorded. You could look at all of the innumerable hours. You will never see any of these things that they're suggesting. And then, last, let's scroll down a little bit more. They accused me of making statements about the Federal Monitor, and I'm like, oh, I think you have me confused, because I did not do that. But in fact, this is a link, so you can click through to see for yourself that the former chair did make those statements. And so I'm being held to account for her statements that she made, as opposed to what I actually said, which was, like I said, with the full vote of the commission on purpose. And that's
an active link they could click. That could be clicked on.
Yes.
Y'all can click on the link right there. Regina Jackson did this.
And my favorite allegation, I have to say, is the last one. The last one that I sent an email on behalf of the department, and CPA said that, I should resign on that act alone. That's absolutely outrageous. If we scroll down, we can see my email that I sent on behalf of LaRon Armstrong. It was a calendar invite that I forwarded to myself from Tyfahra to Tyfahra and no one else. When you use Outlook and forward a calendar invite, it says on behalf of the person who originally sent the email. This is the smoking gun that I sent some email on behalf of LaRon Armstrong to the senior command staff.
So he sent an email to you and you forwarded it to yourself.
Yes.
Well, you definitely can see it on there. Ain't nothing but your name on here.
That's it. That's somehow, on that act alone, I should resign, is what she said.
Yeah.
On May 24th.
Something that don't have a body in it either. Just because it says your name on behalf of LaRon Armstrong, LaRon.
Yeah, this is somehow what I should resign on alone.
Okay.
And so this is why I put this together, because so much was easy to disprove if anyone was willing to listen. To ask. The selection panel has not asked me for responses. They have received a full report from CPA, a full report from Regina Jackson on behalf of the entire commission, which is against our rules. And no one has called, emailed, asked me anything. The full court press has happened without some of the meetings happened. I didn't even know about them until someone told me recently. No one has asked me anything.
Well, it seems like you fighting this fight by yourself, but that's why you're on here tonight, so we can help you fight and continue to fight. We appreciate the work that you're doing in this city. We appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. We appreciate you for coming on here tonight to be just straight up honest. You gave the fact. We saw what they have accused you of, and we saw you answer the accusations things that you've been accused of. 5 things in 2 years past. You got 22.
I'm gonna correct you there.
He keeps saying 5. He said
10 policies in 5 years.
10 policies in 5 years. Okay.
And then a year and a half under my administration or leadership has been 22 policies.
Okay. 10 and 5. That's 2 a year.
2 a year, and then
in 1 year 22.
Okay. 22.
That means you got the stronghold of the people that want to get something accomplished.
Yeah.
And y'all is doing it.
The rest of the commission did the lion's share of that, right? I did the agenda setting and facilitating these things here and there, but those commissioners, they were meeting all the time working on those policies, and they did not rubber stamp anything. Everything was deliberate and thoughtful and engaging. And some of the most progressive policies that we have, they put those forth. So they did an amazing job on that.
That's good. So
you know what would have been nice tonight if we could have had all the 5 commissioners that support you on here.
We couldn't do that. That would be a Brown Act violation.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. You are a lawyer too. Thank you.
No, I'm not.
She a doctor.
My background is literature and film, and I did talk about police brutality in my dissertation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very important subject that you guys deal with, keeping the police accountable for, you know, the things that they need to be held accountable for. That's important, even for people like myself that don't have a problem with the OPD. They're my friends. But, you know, there are in everything, there are good and they're bad. So, you know, those that are bad need to be held to the carpet to still make our city safe. So whatever organization is supposed to do that, we need them to do that. We can't have all these distractions. We just can't. You know, if you have a group of people that's going to make it happen, you keep at it.
Hey, you all. Judge Brenda Harbin Forte is on here tonight. She said, I am fighting with and for Dr. Milele, and that is why the mayor removed me from the commission.
I like her.
Judge Brenda Harbin Forte.
I love it.
We love you. We love you. You came back tonight. I didn't know who you were until you put
the timeline. The timeline is what it is. There's no speculation on what that was all about, except for people that don't really know. So if you don't know what's going on, you think, oh, well, she just removed her because this, that, and the third. Well, no. Us people that know that she fighting the fight is going to know what it was all about.
Yeah. So you all in the column section, in the comment section over here, there are links on Real Talk, Marty Peters page, Martin R. Peters page, and Marty Peters page. Those 3 pages. And that is the link that I said you could click a few minutes ago. You can click on it now, and you can see what Dr. Milele was talking about. There's no doubt why the judge was removed. Judge Brenda, that's it right there, Your Honor. Wayne said there's no doubt why the judge was removed. We know why you were removed, because you had her back, and you wasn't scared of the people that's trying to bully her. But Dr. Milele ain't scared either.
No.
She ain't scared. She's
here for a purpose, and she gonna complete her.
Y'all, she from mission. South Central. She ain't scared of y'all.
I don't have a hero that didn't face opposition.
Of course.
When they tried to make change, right? That's what happens when you try to make change. If I was sitting there on my behind, you wouldn't have never heard my name.
No. And they would have said,
we out here fighting. That's what we are doing.
They would have said you are a good commissioner because you didn't do nothing.
Who said that?
No, I said that's what they would have said if she.
Oh yeah. She
was good. She didn't do nothing. She didn't get nothing accomplished.
Well,
but she was a good commissioner because you didn't do nothing. So Tanya said, ain't taxpayers paying those salaries of some officials to sit on their hands and do nothing? Show some love for me to Dr. Milele. Tell her I was the guy who was talking about all the women deaths in Oakland and these people.
That's Lejean. That's Lejean. I know who that is because he showed me.
Sincerely appreciated you, Mr. Loggins, and so did my mama. She was watching. And she was like, that's right.
He is a very outspoken.
Yeah, you gotta be. If you would have been in there, you would have too. It
was beautifully put, because the part where there was a headline that said off with her head, that went too far. And there are people who can take that stuff too seriously.
Exactly.
And I have gotten a death threat in the mail since becoming the chair of this commission. And so I have to be really, really careful, and rhetoric like that. Rhetoric like that is just beyond what is acceptable. We should not be resorting to things like that.
Yeah. And even the fact that the headline was a problem. I mean, it was in bold letter, off with her head. I was like, what is going on here? I mean, who does that?
Dr. Milele, If you need some bodyguards, Lee John and myself will be more than willing to escort you. We ain't scared.
They protect me well. They'll get you where you need to be. Okay, my guards will be your guards too.
We don't come out of self. I have some men from my church with you. Don't listen. We ain't scared.
Well, thank you. And yes, I'm from LA, but my paternal family is from here. My dad went to Castlemont.
Okay. Hold on, you from here.
My grandfather lived here until he unfortunately passed away due to COVID in 2021. Okay. But I have so much family up here.
Okay. So and they got your back. They ain't got your back way back. They got your back close.
Oh right? No, they got my back. I'm the one who went to get all that education, but the rest of us is all from the hood.
That's what I'm talking about.
And they all have my back.
Where y'all from, the east or the west?
In Oakland?
Y'all from everywhere, huh?
East, like 76.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty rough there, Dr. Milele.
Right, that's right.
My job is right around the corner from there, but I'm from the hundreds. I'm from the hundreds.
I live in the hundreds now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Stone City. That's where we from. That's where we from, born and raised.
Yeah, we are so glad that we get the right information out, because it needs to be heard. Yeah. Every organization in this city is not, well, they are dysfunctional. I'm sorry, I can't lie. I'm sorry. I have to tell the truth. Shame the devil.
Keep it real, Brenda.
Yeah, but if you could get something done despite the dysfunctionality of the people around you, that's that's good. That's why I move how I move and I run what I run.
we definitely need y'all's support to keep coming to the meetings, because right now, like you said, it's one side. And for so many years, CPA was the only group that comes to the meetings. So it looks like the community talking, these, handful of people. So we need more people to come out and demonstrate that the voice of the community is wider than just this small group.
Right.
And it affects public safety because, all of these agencies are overseeing the police department. And are we doing that with integrity? Are we doing that with politics, only? Or are we actually getting there and following the law and the Constitution to make sure that they serve us all equally? Mm-hmm. And we need to pay attention to that, because what we do impacts their ability to do what they do.
Right. And that's important.
It's very important. They've lost a lot of staff in recent months.
Yes. Okay. And they're going to lose a lot more because they're going to be leaving. They ain't got time for the shenanigans that Oakland got going on. Out. No. Yeah. So, yeah. It was good. Any more questions, Marty?
So Miss Kenda Cross said, let her know when the commission meetings are. So they're on the second and fourth Thursday of every month. They start at about 6:30 p.m. and they're in the city council chambers. Mm-hmm. And they also are recorded for later viewing. You can find them. I think I can use this chat. Oh, nope. I don't think I can manage the chat and this, but, if you just Google Oakland Police Commission meetings, all of the information is on there. But yeah, every second and fourth Thursday, 6:30 p.m., City Council chambers, and also online.
Try it again. You said it doesn't work. We're hitting it right now, and it is working. I don't know. I apologize. She said, Kendra said, thank you, Dr. Milele. Try it again, or maybe research it without hitting the link. Yeah, copy and paste it and put it in the search engine. In the search engine. Copy and paste and put in the search engine. Thank you, guys. We're gonna let Dr. Milele go.
Thank you.
She has things to do. Dr. Milele, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. Like I said, I have not been afforded this opportunity to give my side of the story. So.
Well, you gave it all. You made it plain. They don't know. They know now. That was a bunch of, as Marty said, rhetoric.
Exactly. Hey, Dr. Milele, that's how I study. I do parallels, and that was a parallel. I get all the versions of the Bible and compare all the versions. That's what you call writing a sermon, parallels. And that's what you did. You took theirs and you responded, as Wayne said, line by line on the truth versus fiction, versus fallacy. You did that. And we appreciate you. Thank you for your work. We pray for you. As a matter of fact, Brenda, you have anything else to say? I'm going to close out tonight in prayer.
No, I'm good. We just hope more people start coming to the commission meetings.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
We hoping. And Dr. Milele, this will be aired again at 9 p.m.
Okay.
This will be on YouTube, Instagram, and several Facebook pages. You all please do that. Let's pray for Dr. Milele. God, I thank you for Dr. Milele coming on tonight. I thank you for her sweet, humble spirit. I thank you for the work that she does in our city. Thank you, God, that you placed her as the chair. Thank you for her concern and her care for our city. I thank you, God, for the anointing that rests upon her life. I pray for her safety. I pray for her mental capacity. I pray right now, God, that you would allow her to keep doing a job well done. Would you encamp your angels around her and her family, and no weapon formed against her shall prosper. It is in the marvelous name of Jesus the Christ we pray. We ask that you would hear our prayer and our plea. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. We love you, Dr. Milele.
And
thank you so much.
All right.
Don't be no stranger now. Don't be no stranger now.
No. I'm so glad to know you all now.
No.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. We appreciate you. Y'all have a nice night. Listen, hey, if you ain't got no church to go to tomorrow, come on and be the guest at the Victory Baptist Church, 1028 West Grand. We start church at 12 noon. Come on and be our guest. Or you can join us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at 12 noon. Victory Baptist Church of Oakland, California. Peace out, y'all. Hope the Lord bless you. Go give the Lord some glory and honor and praise tomorrow. Have a great night. May the Lord bless and keep you. Thank you, Dr. Milele. Thank you, my sister, my side.
All right.